What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today we're going to be doing a power forward tier list in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. So before we get on to it, lads, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. Lads, we are literally 5. We are 5. Exactly, well, not exactly, we're 6. But we are basically 5 subscribers away from 290k. We're still going for that miracle number of 300k by 2K23. Not looking like we're going to hit it, but you just never know. Also, again, a huge thank you guys for all the support on the channel recently. I got a lot of ideas planned for the next while. As soon as I get healthy, the problem is that is a, well, it's an if, not a when, or it's a when, not an if. But I don't know how long that's going to be. I was hoping to be in a much better state today than I am, but it could be a couple of weeks until we're able to execute on all our ideas. But still, things like tier lists we can still make. So, lads, we are going to be looking at primary power forwards. If there are any players you guys don't see on this list, for example, Kareem's going to be on the center list, although Kareem, you can argue he's better, he's as good as both. We're just going to stick, for consistency's sake, stick to primary positions. If you guys want to see where players will go overall, I will make my overall tier list. Like, today's the 13th. The overall tier list is going to be coming out probably on Wednesday. Yeah, I would say Wednesday is probably going to be my overall tier list video, lads. So, anyway, first of all, now let's go to Aaron Gordon. At this stage of the game, Aaron Gordon's a D tier. We're looking at these cards right here, and Aaron Gordon's fine. He does nothing wrong. Don't get me wrong, like, Aaron Gordon is a perfectly fine card in my team. If you're asking me, does he have any weaknesses? The answer is no. If you ask me, is he good at anything? I mean, the answer is also no as well. He has no real flaws, no real strengths. He's just fine. Amari, I go A tier for Amari. Amari's movement's really solid. His dribbling's good. I prefer Amari to KG. Most people prefer KG to Amari. It's really like KG's a better defender. Amari's got the better release. But they're very similar players. They're very, very similar players in game. Jameson. B. He's B. I don't think he's anything spectacular. I think he'll hit the ball. He'll hit wide open jumpers. He might even get moved down. He's got Brook Lopez base, which is a really good release. I don't really like the player build. I don't know. I thought they were gonna give him a weird thing like set shot 25. I thought they were gonna make the guy Chicken Man again. No, he's not Chicken Man. He's Average Man. He's Middle Man Jameson. He's not Chicken Man Jameson anymore. He's Middle Man Jameson. Then we got AD. I go AA for Anthony Davis. I think that I'm not that high on him. He's only 6'10". I don't think he does one thing well enough. Like, he's good at everything. His movement is meh. His movement's not even as good as Amari's. His shooting is fine off the catch, not good off the dribble. His player build is okay. Everything about AD for me is meh. And that's the whole thing with AD, is I just don't think he does one thing well enough. I know a lot of competitive players like Anthony Davis just because of comfortability, but nah, I'll put him in A. Blake's going down to B. Blake is a really solid player. And I will say, I do want to put a caveat with AD that I have watched a lot of gameplays on these guys. I have physically not been at my system for these guys. So if I am wrong with my opinion on them, it is subject to change. I've watched enough of all of these guys. I've watched best players in the world. I've watched other players. I watched at least 3 gameplays of every single card that came out during the weekend. Trust me, that was a lot more torture than just using the guys. But that's where he's going. Blake, a little bit outdated, a little bit short arms. Defensively not great, but he was great for his time. Bob Mcadoo. Now, this is a card, not only, like, I'm going to put him in B. I think I would probably prefer him to a Davis because I love base 5. Overall, his stats are good, low 3 ball. He kind of reminds me of like a better version of like him, of Jim Jones. But he's got that really good base. Good enough player build. Honestly, he's somebody that, depending on how I feel when I get home tomorrow, I might just bang out the TT offline games and just go and get him. I might just bang out the games and go and get Bobby or Bob Mcadoo. He's a player that I do think I will really, really like in my team. Then we have got Bob Nedlicki S. The biggest bailout option is in this entire game. Like, even if we included centers here and you had Kareem, I think Kareem was probably the only center that would go into this position here. Oh yeah, I'm being dead serious. I think Kareem is the only one at the center that would go into S tier. Screw Shaq, screw Wilt. Neither of those guys are good. Actually, not David Robinson maybe as well. But Bob Nedlicki's so much of a bailout that I can't. He's the second glitchiest player in the game after Luka Doncic. You pass the ball to Bob Nedlicki and press the square button, you're probably going to be open most of the time. He doesn't create like Luka. He doesn't shoot with people with a hand in his face, but his release is so quick that it's really hard to get a hand in his face in the first place. Bob Nedlicki, S tier. Bob Pettit, at this stage in the game, you're worthless. I actually kind of liked Bob Pettit when he came out. I really did. I thought he had a lot of good things going for him. I like his release. I like set shot 14. Just doesn't move at all and he isn't even that tall. Bobo S. Bobo, an absolute zero question. A no-brainer S tier inclusion. Now this guy right here, he's something special. Bobo in this game's incredible. I will say it though, like, I'm actually shocked because I actually initially thought that Mo Bamba was going to be comparable to him. And the more I looked, the more I think like Bobo's like 2% better on current gen. I think value-wise, go Mo Bamba on current gen. Next gen, there's no comparison. Although I will say, Pokashevsky's giving Bobo a run for his money. I think Pokashevsky honestly gives Bobo a run for his money. I go D tier for Boris Diaw. He's just only okay at this stage. He doesn't have any flaws, but this stage of the game, he's just alright. Bosh. Now Bosh is going to go B tier. I know a lot of people would prefer him to like an Amari, but I like Amari. I think he's at a similar level to a Blake. It was good when he came out. Like, if you got him, if you chose him as your limited edition card, it's not like he's bad. It's not like he was a bad option to have chosen, but a solid card nonetheless. A really solid card. Boucher. I'm gonna put Boucher in C, but I really like Chris Boucher. Like, Chris Boucher was my power forward till Nate Thurman came in to my team. Like, I legit used the guy in clutch time. I had a lot of success and he was really, really good for me. So Chris Boucher in here at C tier. Weber. Look, at this stage of the game, Weber's worthless. He just is. Like, I wish I could put Weber in a higher tier for the people that grinded for him. Dude came out in season 5. He wasn't even good in season 5. Leitner D. So Leitner again has got good player build, not a terrible release. I think Leitner is just, he just doesn't have enough. A season 5 card just does not have enough anymore. Now Danny Ferries going into A tier. Like a near perfect card. He just doesn't have. Last year I felt like, even though Danny Ferry's stats weren't the best, his badges weren't even the best. I just felt that Danny Ferry had the like it factor. There was just something always about Danny Ferry that I really liked last year. I felt that his shooting was really nice. I felt that his just overall movement was pretty good. I felt that he did a lot of like really good things in 2K. He did a lot of good things that his stats like wouldn't have shown. His defense was really good. Whereas this year I think he's the opposite. This year I think he has better stats and badges than last year in comparison. But I just don't think he has that animations. No Pro 3 behind the back. Does have the normal laner, but I just think there's something missing with Danny Ferry. A player that I wish I could put in S tier. He's actually, in fact, probably my favorite player in A tier, but he's definitely not going into S tier. Danny Manning, D tier. He's outdated, worthless. Rodman sucks. Dirk's gonna go A tier. Dirk is a severely slept on player. Severely slept on. Like, people are sleeping so much on this guy because he's like one of the worst invincibles. Getting 4,000 cards for this guy is crazy. He is definitely one of the worst invincibles. He most, like, no question about it is. Like, Tim Hardaway's worse than him. And then other than that, maybe you could argue Dirk is number 2 worst. I think they should have given him quick dribble style and they should have given him a different release. There's no reason why, not that he's outdated because he's still really good, There's no reason why the first packable invincible Shaq should have better dribble sigs than Dirk. But it is what it is. Dolph. I mean, Dolph's gonna get release, I guess. No, Dolph's 6'8" and can't really do anything. Getting the worthless. Finney Smith. I'm gonna put him C tier. I think stats wise, he's lacking a lot. I think he's lacking an awful lot stats wise. I think because no, I'll put him B tier. He's like a mini Tatum. Draymond Green's gonna go into A. And that's just kind of the thing with Finney Smith, is that his stats are just kind of lacking. His badges are lacking as well. You do have to add quite a bit to him. But I do think that animations wise, he's pretty good. Definitely wouldn't want to play him at power forward though. Okay, we're now gonna put in our rest of our like low tier players. Jerry Lucas going to worthless. You stink. You know what, Dolph, you're gonna move up a tier. Dolph, you're gonna go up a tier. Then we are gonna put in Zion into worthless tier. We're gonna put Zion into that tier because I think he genuinely sucks. I think Rick Barry genuinely sucks. I think Julius Randle genuinely sucks. You might be saying, oh, Randle should be up a tier. This is my list and I hate him. I hate Julius Randle. Realistically, for most people, is Julius Randle going to be higher? Of course he is. I hate him. I hate him so much that I'm not putting him above worthless tier. There are not many players that I hate more than Julius Randle. Who else now is there? I mean, Siakam. Siakam might belong in worthless here. I think Siakam belongs in worthless. I think that card with like the normal timing release, inability to move, and the fact he can't even play the small forward position. I'm gonna put Siakam into worthless. Any other guys down here into D tier? Most of the cards we've left are pretty good. Yeah, I think we might be done. I might move Padded up and I might move Weber up to get these guys into D tier. Okay, so Fernando Martin. Fernando. I'm probably gonna go S for Fernando. Is Popeye Jones not? He's a small forward. I'm gonna go S tier for Fernando Martin. So he's perfect in everything except his shooting, and his shooting's still decent. He's got hot zones everywhere and 83 rating and all the loads of shooting badges. Brilliant dribbling, good player build, good defense. Fernando Martin's a beast. I still don't have Fernando. I'm gonna have to go and get him. But again, I've been basically ruled out of action for 2 weeks, so kind of explains why I haven't got Fernando. Giannis Antetokounmpo. I mean, I would love to just put both of these guys in S tier. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to get rid of this one. The reason why Hero Giannis isn't on the list, if anyone asks. Well, actually, no, sorry. The reason why Hero Giannis isn't on the list is because I want to put both of them in the same tier. And if ever there's a situation like that where both of them are going to be in the same tier, then I don't put both of them on the list. I only put one of them on the list. However, if somebody in the comment section doesn't watch the video, skips to the end, and demand where Hero Giannis is, tell them B tier. Tell them I said B tier, and that there's so much of a difference between Hero Giannis and Invincible Giannis that I believe he's B tier. Even though realistically there is a difference. It's more training wheels than anything. As in, you have a much bigger margin for error with the Invincible with shooting. But yeah, that's really it. So, Himothy, C tier. His gold card would probably go on the D tier. One of the most disappointing cards. His gold card was God. He's one of the most disappointing cards in the game. McDaniels, B. Good build. Good jump shot. I mean, he doesn't really have a flaw, does he? And I mean, A and B tier really blend into one, don't they? Like the gap between both of these tiers and these guys. Worthy. Weird upper. And that upper, at this stage of the game, because of how great all the cards are, that upper is putting him in the C tier. Jermaine O'Neill, look, a lot of people are going to argue he should be an S. The guy can't catch the ball. And it's so frustrating. He comes with no glue hands. And even if you give him gold glue hands, he has fumbling animations. I've never seen anything like it. His catch animation is a fumble. I've never seen someone fumble the ball like him. Like, you give the ball to Jermaine O'Neill in his hands in transition, full court, fast break, getting him running to the basket. He's one of the best power forwards in the game. He's not even bad defensively. If you catch the ball with him and want him to not fumble the ball, he's terrible. I still don't think B tier is a bad tier, because saying he's in the same tier as Bosh, Mcadoo, and Blake isn't a knocking him at all. But he's not. I think the fumble animation is why he's down here. I'm actually gonna go AB for Isaacs. So Isaac could be an S tier. Like, my last S tier spot's gonna be so tough. It's gonna be so tough. So I'm gonna actually fill out C tier now. I'm gonna fill out C tier. Josh Smith is gonna be one of my first players in C tier. I'm gonna move Dorian Finney-Smith down. I do actually like Dorian Finney-Smith, but I do think that with the guys we have in B tier, I don't think he's quite as good. Maybe you could argue he is, but I just think he's that tiny bit worse. So, other guys, we're gonna move who's into C tier. We're gonna move this Rudy Gay into C tier. We're gonna move this Scotty Barnes into C tier. And gonna move Larry Markkanen into C tier. Larry Markkanen is one that I've only watched 1 or 2 gameplays of him, and he's looked okay. He's someone that I really want to get my hands on, because when I'm talking about my overall tier list, because again, fingers crossed, touch wood, like I'm feeling a lot better today, I'll be good enough that I can mess around with these players tomorrow. Larry Markkanen's one that, like, I could end up moving up quite a few tiers. I was like, I'm going to use all these guys and then make another budget video tomorrow. Juwan. Juwan's going B. Juwan's really good, man. Juwan's really good. And the gap between a Juwan Howard and a Draymond isn't that big. It's really not. The gap between a Juwan and an Amare is not that big. Or a Juwan and a Ferry. He's a really good card. Kevin Garnett. I'm going to put both Kevin Garnett's in A tier. I've used Kevin Garnett and didn't like Kevin Garnett, but like, I'm not going to be biased and not put him in A tier. Kevin Love. See, I don't like Kevin Love. Like, some people swore by him. I think he shoots okay. I can't agree with that release. Can't really move with him. He's not good on offense other than shooting. He was good for his time. He's relatively fast. But like, look at the tier ahead. You're looking at Blake Griffin, Chris Bosh, Jermaine O'Neill. He's not in that tier. C tier. McHale, A tier. Player build, it's not quite Dino's. It should be Dino good, but it's not quite Dino's. Really good player build though. Release really good in base 4. Dribbling, it's fine. But like, if you're asking me, McHale versus AD, I think it's a close one. They do similar things. I'm taking McHale. A lot of people are probably going to take AD. Mainly just because I like that base 4 and I like the upper of McHale. But yeah, he's going to go A tier. Aldridge. B tier, but I really like him. A free card that I've gotten that is actually a beast in game. Aldridge is incredibly nice in game. Pau Gasol's. I have not used Pau. I just want to put a caveat there that I have not used Pau Gasol. But I also do like set shot 17 or 16. I like Pau Gasol's release. So I'm going to put Pau Gasol in A. I think he's an invincible and I like his release in general. So I think he's going to go in A tier. Like, I love that Pau Gasol. Pink Diamond, I think I'm probably higher on Pau than most people. But let's go. Let's put him in A. Popeye Jones. Popeye Jones, not A tier, Jesus. Popeye Jones is going to go into B tier. He's got that wide player build, a super good release. All of his stats are good other than his 3-ball. He can guard ball because of how wide his player build is. Popeye Jones is a surprising inclusion in B tier. But if you've used Popeye Jones, other than his stamina issue, he's a B tier player. Kemp. Kemp's going high B. Kemp's defense is so damn good. Like, Sean Kemp is currently, I don't think he stays there because I think I probably adjust my lineup with new players with the Pokus and stuff. But like, Sean Kemp has been in, like, he's been in my squad, man. Sean Kemp has been in my clutch time team. And I've had a lot of success with Sean Kemp. I have. There's no ifs or buts about it. I've been having a lot of success in my team with Sean Kemp, so I can't not put him in B tier. I'd be tempted to put him in A tier. His defense is that good. Thon, B, A, maybe S. The stamina issue is why he's in B tier. He could get that last S tier spot. Thurl Bailey, without question, B tier. Thurl's just your solid B tier player. Duncan, your solid C tier player. No real flaws. And then we get Zion and Tyler Hansbrough. Zion's going A tier, and so is Psycho T. Zion, we can't underestimate how good base 3 on very quick is. It just is. Like, it's such a bailout option. He's going that tier. So, for my last spot in S tier, for me, it's between Tyler Hansbrough, Thon Maker, and Jonathan Isaac. And you might think, why Tyler Hansbrough? I love base 38. When he got his motion style on Elite, it's crazy. Only issue is basic leaner, but he's a really good player build. Thon, 7 foot tall, can play small forward. He is a slightly worse shooter than Isaac, but as a wider player build. Isaac's going to move better. Isaac's going to dribble a little bit better. Isaac's not quite as glitchy as Thon on the offensive end, but he's better defensively. I'm going to put Jonathan Isaac in as my last S tier spot. I'd love to put Psycho T in. I do love that card, but I'm going to go Jonathan Isaac. So yeah, this is my power forward tier list. Let me know what you guys agree with. Let me know what you guys don't agree with. If I forgot one of your players, that's fine. If you were asking me who I would put in if I included centers, my S tier would still be Bob Denlicky, Bobo, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and then instead of Fernando Martin and Jonathan Isaac, it would be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and David Robinson. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.